Know this. Introducing the original blood clot podcast, not players. Soothing semantic. Special dedication. All the way from New York. Boom. Yeah, man. SWOT semantic. Yeah, me know. Boom. Soothing semantic. Yeah, me know. Big ups to the man. Soothing semantic.
On another episode of Soothing Semantics, I am your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe. Don't just watch the episode. Smash the subscribe button. Like the episode. Share it with your friends. Share it with your dog. Share it with your babushka. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Today, we have Jonathan Vega on the Sode. Welcome, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
My pleasure,
that was very
bro.
soothing,
Thank you.
entrance.
Thank you. We
Have
tried.
you gotten that before?
I have. Play on words.
I don't want to be basic. Can I come up with a better joke?
Dude, you'll be creative.
We'll
We have like
come
a
up with-
good.
I'll come up with something
We have
else.
probably good close to an hour, if not that too.
All right.
So, Jonathan is a stellar realtor in the Miami area. I came across his Instagram page, I would say maybe 2 months ago, and saw one of his videos. I'm going to throw it in here.
Dancing in the mirror, singing in the shower. Whew. Should I American Idol, Felipe? I got that. This is literally the perfect tool to sing in the shower. And it's gold, just like everything. Oh my gosh. I love it. This is actually my favorite house. I want to buy this house.
And he was doing a tour. You were representing the buyer?
Which video?
The one with the shower.
The
bro.
one with the shower?
The one with the shower.
All right, no, that one was a property tour that I did. One of my property tours for YouTube.
Okay.
One of my YouTube property tours. But it was in the middle of the tour, and I figured it was the perfect place. Might as well do it. Shower's there. It's got the nice handle. It's gold. That's a perfect piece to sing in the shower with, man. So I had to show it, and sometimes you got to convey it by doing it yourself. And I feel like I'm Justin Bieber. Like I could be the next Justin Bieber.
I agree.
So
A darker Latin version.
yeah, and my voice is probably better, but
I concur.
I just like to, maybe one day, maybe Justin Bieber's rep watches it and they're like, oh my God, like he'll sell my house and then I'll sign him to my label.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So you're down to completely cancel the whole real estate career?
If for singing, 100%.
Yeah?
That's low key my, like, always been my dream.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
No, that was actually very serious.
Really?
That was actually very serious. Yeah. As a kid, I used to, like, you wouldn't find it, but I used to put up YouTube videos of me singing. I was hoping.
You took them down?
Yeah, I took them down.
They're
They're actually up there, but you wouldn't be able to find them. Like, I
shit.
can't delete it. Like, it's one of those videos you can't delete, and I've been trying to figure out how to delete it, but nobody would be able to find it.
You can't delete it?
I can't delete because I don't have the login to that user.
Okay.
Like, or whatever, Google,
Figured you
whatever.
could like get the password back. Either way, I'm very curious to see this.
Yeah, you won't
But
see it.
I actually like singing too, bro. Like my teachers used to complain to my grandmother that I sang all the time in class. Like I think I have a nice voice. Like people tell me.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Selling a house, baby, $1,095,000. We can reduce the price if needed.
Whoa!
Reduce the price. That was bad.
You got to work on the last part.
No,
like,
I
but
got
if
it.
you-
I got it. But it's on the fly, so I have to.
Yeah, dude, that was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that was
thank
good.
you,
That
bro.
was good.
Appreciate
You could be at like in Nashville doing those honky tonks or something.
I would do it, or those piano things.
Yeah. Well, honky tonk is like when you go in front of like the audience, you're just singing like country music.
If
You
I have
could do
enough
that.
shots in me, like I can do it on the fly sometimes if I'm just in the zone.
Yeah.
But if I have enough shots in me and I'm in Nashville and we're doing what they have those
Yeah.
things going on, yeah, I would totally just on the fly do it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I enjoy singing. I'm telling you, like what I did in the video of me singing in the shower. That's something I legit do every day. Like if you
I sing in the shower every single night. Every night.
Only night.
Well, I my showers in the morning are like quick in and out from the
In and
the
out,
gym.
and then mornings you're not in the mood to sing.
I wouldn't even say that. It's just like I want to give myself enough time to be melodious.
Okay, I get you. I usually have like the speaker on blast, and I'm like, I've had issues with my neighbors where they reached out to me like, hey, yo, can you turn on the music?
Well, that's probably because you go on your balcony naked and you start like doing. That's probably why they have complaints.
No, it's actually funny. My neighbor, she goes up to me. She was like, my neighbor was the leasing manager of my building where I live. She doesn't live next to me anymore, but she used to. And one day, like, I'm walking out of the building, and she's like, yo. I'm like, what's up? She's like, I heard you singing this morning. I'm like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, I heard the high pitch and the low pitch. I heard it all. I'm like, oh, you loved it, right? She's like, yeah, you're the next Justin Bieber. So
she liked it?
Yeah.
Dude,
she didn't say the thing about Justin Bieber, but
that's okay.
We'll leave that in my dreams. Yeah.
That's okay.
Hopefully you have good connections. Hopefully Justin Bieber's watching this right now.
Justin Bieber's probably going to come on my channel at some point.
Yeah?
We'll talk about his
as
tattoos.
As long as I'm there, like, that's awesome.
Cool.
As long as I'm there.
If I meet Justin,
as long as I'm there, I'm happy for you. If I'm not there, I'm not happy for you.
Fine. I see how it is, bro.
Yeah.
See how it is.
Just gotta invite me, man.
I hope that drive on the way back is longer than 40 minutes. So no, but yo, I'm trying to compliment you. I was in the middle of complimenting you, and then we spoke about singing.
Yeah.
So, I came across Jonathan's page with the singing, and then there was other like quirky shit that he puts together. And before we even did the episode, we were talking about creativity in business, and I spoke about this in the episode with Margot, and she's extremely creative as well. I'm going to show you some of her content also. And we discussed before Jonathan and I sat down to do the episode how important it is to use creativity in business.
Yeah.
And there are people that are going to see you as unprofessional, but so long as you actually know the business and you are professional, showing that creativity only adds and doesn't decrease, because the people that like it are going to stick with you, and the people that don't, quite frankly, they can take a hike. And that's. I
agree, 100%. Yeah. I've like we discussed before, a lot of the things that I do, like say quirky, and I've done many different things, and things that are edgy and just different. And I've got people that have talked bad about me, have said things to me, or have maybe said, hey, maybe you should be careful about what you post. But then I have a lot of people who are like, yo, that's awesome. What you're doing is awesome.
What have you posted that was so... When people say, like, be careful, I don't see any of your content that was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just that, some people like the dancing. I mean, now I do it like, and I just don't care anymore. And it's like more like who I am and part of my brand, I guess you could say.
Edgy, bro. Like, what's
but like
edgy
dancing, jumping in the pool with my suit on. This was fun, but I jumped in the ocean with I graduated from FIU, and part of my celebration was jumping in the ocean with my cap and gown. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't like one of the edgy things. That was just something fun, and it was an awesome experience.
We just graduated! Woo!
But I did a property tour, and at the end of one of the property tours, I got pushed into the pool for talking too much.
$8.8 million. This house is awesome. Beautiful view.
Talk too much.
What? What was that for? Oh, man.
Because I do talk too much, but it was like part of the act.
Okay.
And then, I've done like a music video, like rap song about a house. I do a lot of things that are kind of like different, I guess, from what people are normally used to seeing. And maybe the older generation, like the dancing and the stuff like that, it comes off like, whoa, like some people think, like my grandparents are like, oh, be careful, don't do that. That's like, maybe it's because they're protective, but now they're super cool with it. Now they see it, and like, because so many people probably tell them things like, oh, I love what your grandson or your son is doing.
Well, once they see results, bro, as soon as there are results, everyone shuts their mouths.
It's true.
Like, as soon as you're getting those $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million dollar listings, everyone's like, oh, whoa, shit. But if you weren't doing well, they'd be like, see, bro, I told you, it's because you're doing all this creative shit.
It's true. But you just got to, I think it's more like believing, like knowing that what you're doing, knowing that your setup here of your 3 cameras and your editor and, doing all of this is going to pay off, and sticking to it being consistent, constantly putting it out, and just believing in it, eventually something's going to come from it. Like, once you lose that belief, then your content's not going to be as good. You're not going to be as confident. You're going to lack motivation because you're going to feel like you gave up on your dream. And then, like, everything just spirals out. But if you just stick with it, man, like, one subscriber, that's amazing. One after another. Just, like,
Compound,
it's not like I have, like, 1 million subs on my thing. I got 1.8K. And for some might be like, yeah, that's nothing. But for me, like, dude, every subscriber, that's fucking
Because you know what
awesome.
you had to work for to get there,
Yeah,
bro.
of
Like, you had to put a
course.
lot of time into it.
Of course.
And all people see is, oh, it's not that much, because they compare it to other things.
Of course. All people see is the actual content.
Right.
You don't know what's involved with getting to that stage of this content. All the hours I've put into it already to get it to what, to this piece of content that you're seeing in front of you. People don't see it. It's just easier to see what's there, right?
All they see is what looks good. So you have a guy on Instagram driving a Lambo. They don't realize all the shit he had to do. Well, say that he's actually the owner of that Lambo. He's not one of these fake people. Say he's legitimately successful, and he does that. People are like, oh, wow, he's a Lamborghini. He's so lucky. Wow. Think about all the time he spent in that office day in and day out and day in and day out and day in and doing the shit that wasn't fun to be able to get to that place. But people don't see that. So they're bitter about it and they hate on him. And that's the name of the game. It's so I really love what you're doing because
Appreciate it.
It's whenever I see stuff like that, it keeps me motivated to, and I'm genuinely motivated to do it by myself. But when I see other people in my space doing it as well, and they're doing well, it's like, this is a no-brainer, dude.
For sure.
It's a no-brainer. It's so awesome to see it, dude. So
Yeah.
keep doing it, dude.
Thanks, man. I've been keeping doing it, and just the results keep getting better and better and better and better. And, it's been me doing it for a while, right? And it's not like from zero to, I don't have 100K followers on Instagram or anything like that. But I've built built a following, and it's been like organic. People who like you, maybe I put something out there and maybe ran like a little ad on it real quick, and then they appreciate being genuine and being someone who's themselves and who doesn't doesn't care. Wait, are we allowed to curse?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't usually curse in my videos, so.
Good.
But we're here,
Man,
so
you
I don't
got
know
freedom,
if you...
bro.
I don't know if you...
Throw it out there, man.
F-U-C-K.
You can just say fuck.
I can say it?
You can say fuck, yeah.
Shit.
It's so freeing, isn't it?
Freedom, bro.
Isn't it great? I used to by the way, when I was first putting out the podcast, and I have a thought based on what you said, but when I first put out the podcast, I was like, I don't know, should I curse? Should I not?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not me if I don't.
Yeah.
I don't just throw them out there for the sake of throwing them out there, but if it's if it's relevant,
Yeah.
and if I have to make a point,
For sure.
it's just I have to be me.
For sure. Like, I just felt weird just throwing it out there. Like, I never curse. Like, on my videos, never, ever, ever. But, like, if it's in the moment, like, feels right.
But,
you
yo,
gotta
take
do it.
Ryan Serhant, right? You
Yeah.
know Ryan Serhant.
Of course.
He is as original as it gets.
Yeah.
Does he not do the stuff you do?
Yeah.
He does it to
Probably more.
arguably a much
Yeah,
larger
much
extent.
larger, for sure.
And when he gives his motivational videos, he says fuck, he says shit.
No, it's true.
Gary Vaynerchuk says that. All these other guys say that.
It's true.
It's not a matter of just doing it because they do it. It's a matter of knowing whether if that is you, do it.
Of course.
Okay. Of course, there are going to be people who say it's inappropriate, it's not classy, it's not
For sure.
gentlemanly, it's not professional. If you know the work that you're doing is professional and you're doing well by people and you're
Yeah.
helping people, the word fuck is really going to make that big of
Yeah.
a difference. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it, man.
No, it's true.
It's,
It's true. I mean, look, everybody has their own way of doing things.
Sure.
Some people like it, some people don't. I've never done it in a video. I don't know. In a tour, I haven't felt the need, I guess, to say it in a tour. It's a little
Okay.
different.
I
Or like
get
like everybody's content's different.
I
Right?
probably would actually not curse in those style videos
Yeah.
either. I don't know. In a podcast because it's conversationally
Of
based.
course. So it feels more like laid back. It's
Right.
more
It's
in
a
the
different
conversation,
vibe.
in
Right.
the moment. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, going back to what we were saying,
I
like
had a point.
Ryan Serhant, you mentioned him. He really like inspires me. I mean, I've read his books and listened to a lot of the things he does, and I watch almost like every video of his. You know, I look up to that guy. He's very, the way he does things is you know, it's different. It's different, and that's how I've done my whole business, and how everything that I've ever done has always been, how could I just be different? Like, I don't want to do, like, I used to do, like, open houses every single Saturday and Sunday, 2 days a week. Two days, 2 on Saturdays, 2 on Sundays, every single weekend. I was single at the time. Obviously, market's not like this. Like, now, open houses aren't a thing because houses sell, like, the second they get listed. But back in the day, man, I was doing open houses 2 Saturdays, 2 Sundays, 2 Saturdays. And then I was always like, all right, what could I do to be different than any other realtor? And you know what the thing to be different is? It's just calling the next day. Nobody does it. It is beyond me.
Well, calling. What do you mean by
like
calling?
just following up. Somebody who came to your open house, they signed in. Next day, or maybe 2 days later, even 5 days later, whatever. Just following up. Hey, thanks for coming to my open house. What'd you think of the house? Oh, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. Oh, great. What are you looking for? I mean, look. Obviously, it's the more at bats you get, the likely you are to hit a home run, right? 9 times out of 10, any people who come into an open house or any leads that we get, they're probably not going to turn into anything right away. Maybe long term, who knows, whatever. But I was always like, what to do different, and I just realized that no realtor does what they're supposed to do. They don't follow up, and that's any sales job is the most important thing, man.
So key.
And I just get business. I used to just get business just because they'd be like, I'm giving you the business because you're the only person that followed up with me. Like one of my clients right now, I have 2 of their condos for sale. I sold one, and I have one on the market right now in Brickell, 1010 Brickell, unit 2405, the trophy unit of
Go
Brickell.
ahead, sell it, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Trophy unit of 1010 Brickell. It's amazing. It's stunning.
I saw that. I saw that you were selling
It's amazing, man. It's honestly the best unit in the building. But that client, he gave me he had 2 units in the building, and he gave them both to me, and he said, literally, I'm giving it to you because you put in the work. I could tell, and I went to over 50 open houses. This is exactly what he said to me. I went over 50 open houses. Asked me how many people followed up with me.
0.
You're the only one.
Wow.
And that's
man.
literally, like, it sounds crazy, but I don't know if it's just my Miami thing, or maybe just.
I think Miami has definitely something to do with it, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't been in this for long.
Yeah.
But I see realtors because on the other side of the transaction, dude, they're slow.
Yeah.
They're so slow.
Yeah.
Responding to emails, they take forever.
Yeah.
I had just right now, I needed to get information for my buyer client for some insurance questions.
Mm-hmm.
I've been calling the association manager for the past 2 days. No answer. I sent an email today. No answer. What do I drove down to the office.
Crazy.
I walk into the door, and I said, so-and-so? She said, yeah. I said, hey, I sent you an email. What's the story? She's like, oh, well, I need 24 to 48 hours. I'm like, ma'am, with all due respect, like, all you got to do is, say something. So she got the answers for me like an hour ago. And it's like, dude, I also told my transaction coordinator to email her. I told my client to email her. And who else? I'm pretty sure it was 4 of us. Maybe just 3 of us. But yeah, 3 of us emailed her. And my buyer was like, oh, you sure? I was like, yeah, dude. Like, what is she going to get? Yeah. So she gets upset at me? I need these answers. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So there's definitely, there's definitely a thing about South Florida. I don't know about the rest of Florida. Probably even worse. People don't have as good of a hustle, say, as from New York.
Yeah.
Which I think is honestly, in a way, a good thing because it means I have less competition.
Makes it easier. Yeah. I mean, you just, and honestly, it's just a matter of doing what you say. I think too, like doing what you say you're going to do. Like,
yes.
Tell somebody, hey, I'm going to send you some options. And you send it to them that night. Or you send it to them when you say you're going to do it. It's just a matter of just doing what you're going to say.
It sets you apart.
Literally, that's it. And that's obviously with the open houses too. I did many different things. I did, signs everywhere. I did everything I could to just try to be different in my open houses. Going back to what I was saying, but I feel like when you do things that are different like that, or just doing things how you're supposed to, and actually following through with what you say, I think that in itself just makes you stand out. And especially in our business, which is service based, it's all the quality of service you provide.
Right.
I mean, I don't sign buyer agreements with most of my buyers. Or
I don't do them
any
either.
Of my
I don't
buyers.
do that either.
None. If you want to work with me, you're going to work with me, and you're going to enjoy to work with me. If I do something, if I don't do what I'm supposed to, you deserve to not use me. Of course, I'm not providing the service that you expect. So if I'm not providing the service you expect, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. I'm not answering your calls. I'm not answering your texts. I'm not giving you value. You deserve to work with somebody better. So, and that's really what I think stands you apart is me. I'm confident in what I bring to the table, and that's what I think gets business, especially in our business, and really any service based or sales business. It's just going out there and doing what you say you're gonna do, man.
Right. It's such an integral part of anything.
For
it's
sure.
Just like people will take you serious when they see that you stand behind your word. You have so much more. There's so much more power behind your statements because they know it holds weight. And also. I lost my train of thought.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, because there's so many things going through my head, and I'm trying to throw all
them
out there.
Man. It's the goat. You should have took that down. Can't have that up for
the
podcast.
Originality. I keep going back to the originality. Here's what I wanted to say. When you're original, people relate to it because every single person outside of their business life has their own originality.
Yeah.
So when you're that anomaly, when you're that rare person who's very original outwardly in business, people relate to that. So even if they're not the same as you, maybe they're more introverted or they dance differently or they sing differently, they say, oh, he's a human.
Yeah.
Because when most people do real estate or most people do business, it's robotic.
For sure.
They might be professional. They might be very successful. But there's that covering. There's that shield. People, what are they really like?
For sure.
But when they see what you're up to and you're open about it and you're yourself outwardly, they go, he's not hiding anything. You might be a serial killer, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You never know.
Could be. But
No,
people can get a nice idea of who you are,
of course,
before they even meet you, and that I think is very valuable.
For sure. It's been. I don't have to act like something I'm not, and ever since I was a little kid, I was always like the class clown, and I was always the clown in class. I was like, I didn't win funniest. I should have won funniest, but whatever. I don't want to get into that. I get really emotional. And give me a second. See, that's maybe why I didn't win funniest.
Maybe that was a bad act.
Maybe that was like a really bad act, and maybe I'll just stick to real estate. But I was always like a clown, and I always joked around, and I've never really taken, like, obviously I take life seriously, but like I'm a very lighthearted guy, easygoing, and I like to have fun with what I'm doing, and so I just learned to mix it with how I make a living, and I have fun with it. I've done all these things of jumping in the ocean. My things have got me on the news. I got on NBC 6 in Telemundo for when I jumped in the ocean with my cap and gown for my graduation celebration. Lifestyle Miami reposted it. I got on when I made my music video for one of my listings that I sold in Gables Estates. That made it on the news too when we sold the house. So like, these things all are just like a testament. Like they always just remind me like, all right, hey, keep doing what you're doing and keeping original, just keeping yourself, and don't care what people think about you, because everybody's gonna have something to say, but just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
People have something to say anyway, though.
People always have something to say.
But like at least on the plus side, if you're original, maybe more people have something to say. Maybe you will have more haters, but at least you're doing good for you, as opposed to worrying about what everyone thinks. Therefore, you do nothing. So then you have people talking shit about you, and you're not even getting done what you want to get done. So there's no good in that. You get what I mean? I mean, obviously you get what I mean.
For
sure. It's and the more you do it, the more you feel confident, the less.
Oh, of course.
And the less of a shit you give.
And the less you care. It's so crazy. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you're so good in front of the camera." I'm like, "Yeah, well, if I been doing it for this long, I'd hope I'm good in front of the camera, right?" Like, I mean, I've had the camera in my face since I was in high school. I was the news anchor of my at Coral Reef. I went to Coral Reef Senior High, and I was the news anchor my senior year. So every single morning, everybody would have to look at my face. Dude, I feel so bad for them. Oh my God, poor guys. And I would always do like these really cringe like jokes, like the jokes that I do like on my dad jokes on my Instagram and my blogs. Jokes, bro. Oh my God, man, me and my buddy Frank, we would do the worst jokes ever. And I mean, it's one of those things, man. Some people I think overhype things. And they're like, man, I'm not good in front of the camera. Well, get in front of the camera and get good. I mean, that's the only way to get good.
Right.
I wasn't good at selling houses. I didn't even know how to sell a house when I first started in real estate. I didn't know what a mortgage was. But I got good. I learned my stuff. I learned the ins and outs. And that's with anything. I mean, you just got to kind of like start, right? Just like your podcast. I mean, sure one day
it's
you
a
just said,
world
hey,
of difference, man.
Let me get my camera on. I'm sure you didn't start with 3 cameras, or maybe you did.
I did not. I started with 1, and then I realized that I needed 3. You need 3 angles. It's very important. Arguably even more than that. Eventually, you can put a TV here, and have the camera. Yeah. There's so much to do.
Yeah,
but
maybe for mine, like you didn't need this one. You didn't need that one, because
to have 3.
Yeah, you didn't need this one. I didn't want to break your camera. I told you. You just needed 2 today. You just needed that one. Maybe even just pointing at you and you talk.
Cool. We'll leave you out. Yeah, got it.
I mean, if your camera breaks, I ain't buying it. I'll tell you that much.
I got you.
How long have you been in the business for? The 10 months, right?
Yeah, less than 10 months.
Okay, and like, so do you feel like confident? Like, do you know a lot about the business already, or do you have like a mentor that you go to?
So for me, I love to accomplish things.
Okay.
I love to build credibility for myself, and I love a challenge.
Okay.
So especially when it's something that so many people aren't down to do, I love to have conversation. I love to build relationships. I love to network. There's real estate for me gives me the ability, like what you do, to be myself.
Yeah.
And what I was doing before did not allow me to get to my full potential, because I was in an office all day. I was making calls over the phone. The clients I was talking to were over the phone. So when I get to meet someone face to face and be myself, there's so much more potential for me. The door flies open.
For sure.
And the longer I do this, the more I realize how much of a fit it is. And there are the good days and there are the bad days, of course. Things don't go my way. But I don't give a shit about rejection. I don't give a shit about rejection in my daily life or in my business life. I accept it. I'm way too confident to let that get in my way. If I did something I shouldn't have done for that rejection, whether it's with a woman or whether it's in business, I try to calculate and understand it, and then I learn from it. But if it's for me and I come to the conclusion that it was what it was, you move on, you get the next. Yeah. This is how life works.
That's it.
Most people are crippled by that. Large majority of people that try real estate, they leave months into doing it because they don't realize what it really takes.
For sure.
And I think even for people who are more introverted, there are introverts in real estate that do very well. They have to find where they have to find their niche. They have to understand what kind of clients suit them well, which clients they're suited to deal with. If they're not as loud and outgoing, there are people that are a good fit for them. If they know their business down pat, that's fine. They just have to understand that and be willing to put in the work and be willing to overcome the fears needed. So it's, when it came to phone calls, I made thousands of phone calls prior to real estate. I had no issue with cold calls. When it came to rejection, no issue with that.
That's good.
When it came to just learning, like there are times where I'm a visual learner, so if it comes down to like having to sit and read things, it can get annoying for me. So it's just a matter of like, as you get older, bro, you just have to understand yourself.
Of
and
course.
Like every time you have a thing that you're afraid to do or that you're not comfortable with, you go head first into it, because the sooner you jump in, the sooner you'll get to where you want to be. So a good example is there are a couple of realtors in my office that are still doing it part-time. And when I see them doing that, I don't really say anything unless I get close enough to them. I'm very blunt, dude. I could meet someone the first day I meet them, and I'll tell them what I think. I don't give a shit. And it's funny that it ends up building better relationships that way, because it's a no-brainer. most people aren't like that because they're like, oh, but I don't want to rub them the wrong way. I don't think that's not my place. Okay, maybe it's not your place, but if you come from good intention, if you come with good intention, they're going to appreciate that because most people aren't doing that.
Yeah, nobody does.
So no one does that because they usually don't care. So there's a guy in my office now. He has a day job and then he's doing real estate at the other half of the day. Let's be honest, bro. Is he really doing real estate the other half of the day? Maybe. But he's also, his morning is gone. His afternoon is gone. Of
course.
What is he doing? Working in the evenings?
By afternoon, I'm freaking tired.
Yeah,
man.
so what is he doing? Working in the evenings? If you're not ready, if you don't have the funds to start, I suggest you get the funds to start.
Yeah.
So what that means is whatever that means to you, you have several months of rent, you got some emergency money, whatever it is, where or just if you're young, live it with your parents for the first couple of months.
Sure.
Whatever you got to do. But if you're doing it part-time and you don't have a set time where you're like, that's it, I am done with the other gig, I am going headfirst into it, you're just going to prolong the inevitable.
For sure.
And then you're going to complain, oh, well, I'm not making any sales, this business, the company I work with sucks. It's like, no, idiot. You're starting real estate at 5 o'clock in the evening, and you're making calls. What do you think's going to happen? You know what I mean? And it's to you, this is like no shit. But to other people,
but that's with anything. That's with anything.
If you don't put in the work,
if you don't put in the work, it's just not going to work out. And then you get discouraged because it didn't work out.
But the decision was clear.
Of course.
They just don't see it.
And it makes me laugh, like when people like
they complain.
First off, if I'm like, I try to put myself in other people's shoes, right? So if I'm selling my house,
right.
Why in my right mind would I hire somebody who is doing this part-time? Why? Like
Damn
why?
straight.
Why?
Damn straight.
Why?
Damn
the
straight.
guy that's part-time is busy half the day or 90% of the day doing something else, doesn't have the connections, isn't meeting people on a daily basis who are out and about looking to buy or sell right now. It just doesn't make sense. And then people think selling a house and buying a house is like the easiest thing. And oh my God, I'll buy a house. Oh my God. Oh, I can do it by myself. There's Zillow. Okay. When you need a CO or you need to know about the different things of a split folio, the things I've been dealing with lately have been insane. But
I saw the post-occupancy thing you posted.
Yeah.
I actually knew about that prior, but I'm glad I checked it out because it was I haven't dealt with that yet, but I know I will at some point.
Dude, I've had every single deal lately.
Actually, I
have learned something. Yeah. It's been I had a client today that started a pre-occupancy agreement. I did a post-occupancy agreement last month. I've dealt with like everything, and that's the thing is that people who buy or sell a house, they do it once, twice, three, handful of times in their lifetime, right? Most people. When you're in the process, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people involved, a lot of things that can go wrong, and most times something is going to happen where you're going to need some sort of advice. And people who decide to do it alone, hey, that's their thing, man. I mean, good luck. But you need somebody who knows what they're doing in the process, right? I don't even know how I got to this point, by the way. I don't know what we're talking about.
What you're saying is that the transaction of buying and selling is a lot harder than people think.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I don't know what we were talking about before though, but yeah, that was my point. It's a lot harder than people think. And the part-time, people doing this
why would
part-time,
they trust you? Why would they
trust you to like help you with the transaction? And then if you need, which people, you're in your main job during the day. If there's an emergency,
you're not committed, man.
You need to be available. You're not committed. You're not committed. I would never hire somebody. Whole point is, I would never hire somebody who's doing it part-time. Anything part-time.
Way.
I wouldn't hire an accountant. I wouldn't hire anybody to take care of anything of mine if they're doing it part-time.
No one in their right mind would do that.
No. And the only reason people who do it part-time, they do it for friends and family. But in reality, they're doing their friends and family a disservice. Yeah, they give a little kickback of a commission, but they're probably making them lose more.
You know what's interesting? I spoke to a very successful realtor in my office, David Baez. Could you have water? You guys can permission?
I don't want to break the mic. Bro. I told you I'm not buying it if I break it.
Bro, well, it's not very expensive.
What were you saying?
But so he, shout out to you, David Baez, if you watch this episode. I asked him if he represents a family member. Does he like really give a big discount. He's like, no. He's like, the lowest they'll go is 5%. He's like, because I can run into legal issues. So what, I'm just going to have to pull 15, 20K out of my own pocket? He said, at the end of the day, business is business. I got to do business. He said, if, and that's the most he said. But what I take from that also is, if somebody is getting paid a fair amount of money to do something, don't you think they're going to put a lot more work into it? Let's be fucking transparent here. Of course. But it's your family and you should do it. People need to put food on the table. And at the end of the day, even if they have plenty of money to put food on the table, if they're doing something for free, there isn't going to be as much of an effort. That's just my honest feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can love your wife, your daughter, you're not going to, your wife's a different story. If it's your house or whatever it is,
Yeah.
but say you're working, your aunt hires you to sell her home. If you're doing it for no commission and you have another $4 million house that's paying you, the math, a couple of $100K, you're automatically going to prioritize that deal.
Of course.
You'd be crazy not to. So not to say that you wouldn't put work into that no commission transaction, but like it's just not the sensible thing to do, in my opinion anyway.
Of course.
I think even the client is not getting what they so okay, they're saving commission, but don't you want to make sure that you get the most money for your property? Don't you want to know that the relative who's a realtor negotiated very strongly on your behalf? You can't guarantee that if they're not making any kind of money, that their time isn't being,
of course,
counted for.
And me, if I'm working with a friend or a family in something, I want them to make money.
Right, I would feel the same way.
So, a friend who wants you to get no commission, or a friend who would want me to get no commission, or take a big chunk, I don't think that's a friend. I mean, if I offer it, it's different.
Right.
Right? It's different if I offer it. But if my friend's like, yo, list my house, and I don't want you to get any money for it. If it's my friend, any of my friends, if I give them business, dude, I want to pay you. I want you to make money. I want you balling. I want you. And if I'm going to pay someone to do something, I'd rather pay my friend or my family member. Realistically, if it's going to be paid anyways, pay it. If my friend wants to give me a discount, cool, man. Give me a discount. I appreciate that. But I want you to make money. Like, there's no way you're doing this deal for free, nowhere near it. Because you're getting paid. Because if not, I'm going to pay anyone anyways.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it. But, look, I typically don't give any discounts. Only if it's like my mom. That's it.
Right. I hear that.
But, I mean, you got to... I know the value I bring to the table. And that's it. Like, my value, I will make you more than what you're paying.
Sure.
Now. Like, that's... I know for a fact.
Right.
I know for a fact. So, I think that's why I think in reality it ends up paying itself. But you mentioned something, rejection. Rejection in sales, I think I love rejection. And it's so crazy. Maybe my girlfriend won't like hearing this if she's listening. But when I was single a few months ago, I would go out and I would literally, when I'm out like in work and when I'm out like
when
at
you're
night,
out, okay.
going out to have fun with friends.
Right.
I ask any of my friends, I would tell them I love getting rejected. Like, I love going up to a girl, and it sounds so weird. I just love it when she says no. I love when I get rejected. Because every time I get rejected, I figure out a new way to be creative and a different approach. And then what works? Okay, this works. This has started to work for me. Let me see. Let me just keep at it. And rejection molds, or not only like in sales, it relieves a barrier. Like in sales.
But so long as you're motivated enough to get on the other side of it. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're that person, then
For
dude,
sure.
you are unstoppable because you truly only learn from failure. Rejection and failure, those are the tools that get you there because you're like, wait a minute, why didn't it work?
Sure.
What did I do wrong? What do I have to do to not get rejected as often? So you embrace the rejection. I don't think it's because you like the act of rejection itself, but you like what it'll bring you in the long run.
For sure.
Because that's key to getting rejected less. And even if you'll always get rejected, there'll never be a time where you never do.
Of course.
But you can strongly lessen or decrease those rejections over time by learning what works. And different people, and by the way, I hold your thought because I feel like I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Different people will respond differently to different things. So what you might say to one person that will reject you, you can say or do something to a different person that'll love that and accept it. So then it comes into reading how different people are, reading the mannerisms of different people, understanding their body language.
Exactly.
And learning how to simply understand the mindset of each individual person. And then you realize that there are also groups of people that have similar traits. So you have, in business, you'll have the introverts, you'll have the introverts / extroverts, you'll have the people who are, you have like all these different groups of people.
Yeah.
And as time goes on and you start to meet thousands of people, you say, they're one of those kinds of people.
Yeah.
They're more analytical, they're more impulsive, they like to do business with some humor. They need to get to know me better. This person needs to make sure they're getting the most bang for their buck. Everyone's got their own. This person's automatically on the defensive. He by default just assumes because I'm a realtor, maybe he can't trust me. So I need to really work on building that trust and showing him I care. There's just all those different types, and the more you can understand those different types, you lessen rejection.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. I mean, like, rejection is just something that I literally I am immune to. I don't care about rejection. Of course, like everybody, like, let's say for the situation of when I would go up to girls and when I was
By the way, dude,
single.
honestly, it's so similar. Like, let's cut the shit here. There's so many similarities to the two. Do you not agree with me?
Of course. Of course.
It's
I mean, look, dating and sales it's very similar. It goes like hand in hand.
because,
being able to
dude,
get a
it
client.
is a sale.
It is a sale.
It is a sale.
You're
It's
selling yourself. You are.
People don't like to say that, especially with men and women, because it maybe sounds manipulative, or I don't know what people think. But anytime you make friends or you attract a woman, you are selling yourself.
Yeah.
And people and just like in business, the more real you are, the more, regardless of what you're looking to do in that transaction, as long as it's understood and as long as you're kind of making it known that this is what your intention is, and they see that and they can trust you, you're golden, dude.
Of course. And just like in the beginning of getting rejected, even when I started in real estate, I would call expireds, I would do cold calling and stuff like that. And I don't do that anymore. But in the beginning, it's like you're scared of the rejection. When I started off, I was scared. Like,
You don't make cold calls anymore? No. You don't feel like you have like plenty of business where you don't have to even think about it?
I don't cold call. No, man. I don't. I don't cold call. I don't make any cold calls to expireds. I don't cold call. It's now I really just get referrals.
You're always constantly busy with referral clients?
Referrals, and I get a lot of leads on social media and stuff like that. So
Okay, because
that's kind of.
There's a
I mean,
guy,
I don't know if you would. I guess you could consider if a lead inquires on my website or whatever. Maybe that is a cold call.
Well, I have a very transparent question.
What?
Do you have a goal of how much money you want to make in a given year?
Do I have a goal?
Or do you just kind of go with the flow and take what you get?
No, I mean I have a goal. I always have had a goal as to what I want. So yeah, I have a goal. I think you always have to have like a vision as to what you want. Every year I try to at least double what I did the year before. If I'm not doubling what I did the year before, I'm pretty disappointed in myself. At least double.
Okay.
So that's every single year I set a higher and higher expectation, and those higher expectations bring on new problems, right? The more you get, the more problems there are. The more deals I have, the more problems there are, the less headspace I have and the less time I have to do a lot of the things that I really enjoy. So it's learning how to, like I spoke earlier, delegate. Starting to delegate. So like now I'm looking for an assistant.
Yeah, once you got all those extra tasks, the 80% taken care of, then you have more free time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, man, I mean, I think my clients go to me. I think it's really because of my hard work and my being genuine to myself. Like, I'm energetic and I'll be energetic, and I'm not going to not be energetic. And the way I express and show property and the way I follow up, and, one of the things actually, going back to how the follow-up thing is, add value. Add value. I never, ever follow up with someone if I don't have value to give them. I won't just call you and be like, I met you, let's say a month ago. Yo, Rafi. I wouldn't say you're Rafi to somebody. All right, let's say you're a client.
Okay. Hey, Rafi.
Hey, Rafi. How are you, man? I know it's been a month since we met at my open house. I would never say, are you still looking for a house? I'd say, hey, Rafi, the house across the street of where we met a month ago just hit the market. I think it's something nice. I'm not sure if you're still looking or not, but I figured I'd reach out to let you know. That's the value right there.
It's actually very helpful to me.
No, for sure. I think in any sales job, in anything, let's not even talk about sales. You have to give value. If you're just, when are you going to give me business? When are you going to give me business? When are you going to, hey, oh, you didn't respond to me. Hello, hey, did you see my last text? Did you see my last? No. They saw it. They saw it. If I get a text from somebody, maybe I'm busy and I forget to respond to you and you follow up, all right, that's, different. But like, I see everything. Maybe I get busy and that happens. And maybe the client you're reaching out to got busy. That's fine. But hey, I'm following up. Maybe you got busy. I'm not even going to mention that. Look at this house that just came up. Hey, a house just closed across the street. Hey, the house that we met at, we sold for $1 million or $500,000. I thought you'd like to know that. It's good to know what's going on with the market. Like, I feel like you have to add value to people's lives. If you're not adding value, then why would somebody use you? Like, I want people to know, because I want people to know that I know every single house that comes on and off and closed sale, pending sale. If I know every single house that comes on the market in Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest, Coconut Grove, especially Pinecrest, Coconut Grove, Coral Gables, that area, I know everything. I don't miss a beat, because if I think of somebody who was possibly looking for that, I'm sending it to them. Mm-hmm. I'm letting them know about it, because that's the value that I bring. Like, I'm your eyes and ears. You don't need Zillow. You don't need Julia. You don't need houses.com. You need Jonathan Vega, and that's it. And I'm not trying to like take your business or anything. Bro, I know you're a realtor. You're a realtor over here. I'm over there. There's enough to go around for everybody.
It's good you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I am so at ease with that, because honestly, dude, I'm an aggressive person when it comes to business. I go, really hard in making sure that I get done what I need to get done. But if people see both of us on the podcast and they're drawn to you to work with you, good, bro. I hope you get business from my podcast. There's plenty of business to be done, man, because we mentioned in the beginning, most realtors aren't doing what they need to do. So you look at most business in general, most businesses fail because people aren't willing to put in the work and understand what their role is, and take it seriously. So, dude, go ahead, promote as much as you want, homie.
Well, look,
honestly,
my brokerage, I've been with One Sotheby's for 6 years since I started. I worked as an assistant for 3 years to a top agent, and she brought me into the business. Amazing mentor, person, human being. Like, I love her like family. Eventually we all grow and we got to fly, right? Everybody's got to do their own thing eventually. After that, I worked with the top agent in my company, and he gave me an amazing opportunity to work as a part of his team for about a year. Man, what an experience. But the first day that I started, I was sitting in his office with him, and the first thing he told me, he was like, look, don't ever get greedy. Don't ever get envious. None of that. There's enough to go around for everybody. There's enough to go around for everybody.
That brings me to a point that I'm going to hold on to.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, man, you win some, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. I saw a house today. I was trying to get that listing, and I saw it listed, and it hurt my heart, but I got to move on and go on to the next because congrats to the guy who got the listing. I'm on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going. But there's enough to go around for everybody, man.
Absolutely, dude.
And if you start getting greedy and acting like there's not, and you need everything in the world, and you need everything, that's not. You're gonna. You're just gonna drown yourself. Like it's not a good place to be. And then I feel like people start screwing.
Yeah, that's when things get dirty.
People
I think.
out.
Yep.
You're getting dirty. You're trying to go do things that aren't right. Like there's enough to go around for everyone. No need for greed or any of that. And rather than say, hey man, damn, that guy took my listing. I should have gotten that listing or whatever. Like
You didn't.
congrats, man. Like
Right.
they chose you. It's because I did something wrong. Now it's time to go to the drawing board, figure out what I can do better.
Damn straight, dude.
That's it.
That brought me to a point where if you have a buyer and you are looking at a house, say you have, they say, hey, this is the criteria I want. Show me everything in this area or these 4 areas of these houses. So you have 40 available listings. 6 of those listings are only offering 2% instead of 3%. You have a choice to make. Do you take those listings out and only show them those 34 that are offering 3%, or do you show them all 40? Now, there are realtors that probably take those 6 out. Understand that one of those 6 houses could be the dream house for that client. So you may lose a % commission for finding that house for them, but A, they're finding their dream house, which is first and foremost. B, yeah, you lost a %, but because they're so happy with your service and they know, and I might even tell them that, hey, I'm just letting you know. I would say that. It's not maybe necessary to say, but I would say it because I do want to show them that I showed it to them regardless. And going forward, they're going to remember that, and they're going to send you to other people. So you're going to end up getting a lot more than 1% from the referral business that you get for making them happy. So for me, like it's a no-brainer. I talked to other colleagues about this because they've been in the business longer, and they mentioned this to me, and I'm like, honestly, dude, with all due respect, I knew this already going into it because it's obvious. Because I would feel the exact same way if I was in real estate and I had a realtor that did that for me. I would be so grateful. I'd be like, you didn't have to do that, but you did it anyway. I'm going to refer you to everybody I know.
Yeah, no. Look, there now that's being common. It's common that some people cut on that commission, unfortunately. But there's not you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, man. I think it's just a matter of having integrity. And the thing with the commission, man. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like 2%, that could be the dream one. So you don't want your client to miss out on it. And some people will be grateful for that, and you get more referral business. So sometimes you got to lose some now to gain more in the future, right? I mean, it happens all the time. We've all had to, anybody been in the business long enough, you've all had to give up something. I mean, it's inevitable to happen. Like, you're going to have to give something up. If not, sometimes deals die because you didn't give up or whatever. So sometimes you got to do it. But yeah, man, I've been doing it for 6 years now. 6 years.
How old are you now, man?
24.
Damn, bro. I'm 27. You've been doing
27?
So you started at 18.
I started at 18.
Dude, you started fresh
I'm
right
telling you,
out of the
man,
gate.
I tutored kids in high school. So the second I got my car, my grandpa gave me his hand-me-down. I got home. My mom gave me $40 cash. She's like, here's $40. This is the only tank of gas I'm ever going to pay for you. From here on out, you got to pay your gas. Thank God my mom did that, man. Like, a lot of my friends and people that I knew, cars paid for. And luckily, it was a hand-me-down.
I had to buy my own crappy car. But
yeah, hey. Yeah. But, like, a lot of my friends, they paid the gas. They paid everything. Me, the second I got my car, okay, I didn't have to pay a car because it was paid off, and my grandma gave me a hand-me-down. Thank God for Abuelo. But I had to start paying gas. outings. Like, and as a kid, it's, you know, whatever. So I got to figure out how am I going to get that money. And my mom was like, all right, you could tutor some kids. I have, she's a teacher. You know, they need a homework helper, $20 an hour. Perfect. I started at like 1 or 2 days a week. I'd make like $40 a week, bro. And I was set. I felt like I was rich. Honestly, in high school, I thought I was rich. $40 a week. Holy cow. Dude, fast forward, graduating high school, and the mom was an agent in my company, and she was like, hey, come work with me. I'll pay your license. I'll teach you everything. I'll be like your mentor. And I didn't know what a mortgage was, man. I was so scared.
Damn.
I didn't know what a mortgage was. When I'm graduating high school, I had no idea what I was going to do. Like, I was going to be an attorney because that's what my mom wanted me to do. And I got the opportunity. I was actually going to go to UCF, and then that didn't work out. And then I canceled last minute. It's a long story. We don't need to get into it. But, yeah, I ended up staying here. I ended up working with her. And the first day, I called her, obviously, because you have to follow up. She's not going to follow up with me. I called her after graduating like a week later. I'm like, hey, I want to take you up on that job offer. And first day in the office, we sat down. She's like, all right, sign up for your real estate course. I'm like, But hey, man, now 6 years later, we're here, and it all worked out because of that. I worked with her for like 6 years. It was amazing. 3 years tutoring, 3 years in real estate. Man, did I learn a lot. Like, I feel like when you first start out in something, like you're 10 months in. I mean, I don't know. You probably have a mentor. I'm sure you have somebody
I've had
you go to.
Yeah, I've had a few people in my office,
happen.
and I have a coach who's incredible now.
Yeah. You always need a mentor. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, people always ask me what's like my advice for getting into the business. I'm like, work under someone, work on a team. You know, that I think, whether real estate or anything, that's how you learn. Think about, like, you know, because
I'm not on a team, actually. I started as a single agent.
You started single, but you have a coach, you have a mentor, you have someone.
I think I'm okay with that because I'm so hungry to learn. So
Okay.
as soon as I have a question I just don't have the answer to, I run to somebody. I need to get the answer. So, and I've just always talking to people. Quite honestly, the people in my office are making moves. They're doing things. There's a lot of other realtors that aren't in the office. Some are, I'm sure, are doing well, but most of them are just newbies who come and go.
Yeah.
So I'm always around people who are producing and doing. So I'll go to their office, ask them a question.
Yeah.
Or we'll just, I just got a listing, a very nice listing, and I decided to co-list with a realtor who's doing very, very well. And I said, you know what? I'm okay with getting only half of the commission, but this guy's going to teach me. I don't know if I would be able to close without him. Maybe I could. It's not even lack of confidence. It's just I want that mentorship. Because then going forward, I'll feel 100% confident.
For sure.
Signing and getting it done. Because for me, I don't want to take that kind of listing and act as if I know what I'm doing and completely screw it up for my client.
For sure.
So if it's like a regular property, whatever, I'll learn, I'll go through the motions. But this is like a kind of thing where I wanted that kind of. The first time I get this kind of deal, I want somebody that can really show me the ropes.
Of course. And you need that. I mean, sometimes you need that. I mean, we don't all know it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially being so young and being young in the business, you know, sometimes it's good, you know, take your cut, but hey, you helped you. Maybe he knows something that you don't that could help.
Well, he definitely knows something I don't.
You know, and that's, and I think getting a mentor, getting somebody like that, or, you know, working with somebody in the beginning, like that's a key. That's so important. Because if you try doing it on your own, you can't, man. It's a scary thing to do, especially not knowing anything. You need to ask questions. You don't know it all. It's okay to ask questions. And yeah, man, I did 3 years of an assistant, and I learned so much, man. And then working on a team, I worked on a team, and you know, so I was able to see different worlds. And it really helped me. It really helped me understand the business, and you know, it's got to me to where I am now, which isn't anything crazy, but it's
nice.
It's you know, I'm thankful for all the clients and everything that I have. It's been cool. But the business is fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Different day every day.
Right.
Some days are more exciting than others. A lot of people think you're always out showing houses, but I mean, I'm not out always showing houses.
No one is, man. Unless like
follow up.
Unless you've been in the business for 10, 15 years and you just have so much income and everything is delegated to the point where all you have to do is just smile, sign a listing agreement, and negotiate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some realtors are just at that point. You're spending hours in your office. You're doing the not pretty stuff.
Of course.
It's part of it.
It's a part of the process, man. It's a part of the process. I mean, I'm in the office more than I'm out showing probably. I'm in the office a lot, like late nights. Like I came straight from the office here. And it's just the emails, the calls, the texts,
I got to answer a few
DMs
after this thing. I have a few piled up after this, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, there's always something and someone to answer to, and I feel like if you just get in if you don't go to the office or you don't find something to do, you're not going to get business. Like you always got to keep busy. Always got to keep doing. There's always something to do. There's always something to do. Even if there's like nothing, like there's something to do.
You have to find something. Yeah.
You have to find something, man. Like before, when I wasn't getting so much business, I mean, what I was doing was the videos, man. I was just, I'm gonna do these videos. I'm gonna do these videos. I edit. I didn't want to pay an editor at the time, so I learned how to edit. I mean, that was it, and just pushing, always doing something new. So, we're business owners at the end of the day. Like, you're Rafi Pinsky, your brand, your image, that's your business. Jonathan Vega, my brand, my image, that's my business. That's my, it's a one-man show, maybe a couple people, that are involved in the business, but it's a business. If you don't work on the business, if you're not constantly changing and making improvements, the business is not going to get anywhere. It's going to stay where it is. So, yeah, man, I mean, real estate's a lot of fun, though. I like the flexibility. And
the flexibility is so key, man.
Yeah, the flexibility is great.
I see people working 9 to 5s and, like, we'll talk, and they'll be like, I have to ask my boss if I can get off, or I don't know if I could take off that time. And it's like, wow, I don't know how you do that.
Hey, but it's a double-edged sword. I went to Nashville 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Super fun. Have you ever been to Nashville?
I have been, but for a very short time.
Super nice. All you do is drink there. But really fun town. And, man, when I got there on Wednesday. I tried doing I wanted to do it as long as I could. I hadn't gone on a trip in 3 years. I haven't gone on vacation. I got there Wednesday. I got slammed with calls. Like, I had a deal falling through the cracks. Dealing with attorneys. I had another deal that the closing was delayed. It was supposed to close that Friday. And I had literally so many things to deal with. And I'm on vacation. And any job that's a 9 to 5. Doctors.
I have a very good response to that, though, bro.
Any of them. They have their 9 to 5. What happens after 5? What happens before 9? It's not their problem. A doctor doing your surgeries, you're working 9, 5, whatever. When you're off the clock, you're off the clock. In real estate, there's no off the clock.
Right.
You're always on the clock. When do people buy houses? When do people look for houses?
Weekends.
When they're not working because they have to pay for a house. So when do we have to work? Weekends. When do we have to answer calls? At night. And it's one of those things where, yeah, it's great. It's like the flexible schedule. I could do a doctor's appointment in the middle of the day. I could do a podcast if I wanted to in the middle of the day. But in reality, I have to be available to my clients all the time. Or at least somebody has to be available to my clients all the time.
But I have a rebuttal for this. I have an objection handler for this.
What?
My objection handler for this is that for however long you do that, yes, it's rough.
Yeah.
But when you can structure your business in a way,
of course.
No, I had an entrepreneur on my podcast. His name is Mike Barayev. Shout out to you, Mike. He spoke about this on one of his clips. He does marketing. He owns a marketing company. You're only really a truly successful entrepreneur when you can go on vacation and not have to worry about taking all these calls. So I'm not speaking for you, but I'm going to speak for myself. I will not see myself as truly a successful business owner until I can actually take that time off and I have my tasks delegated, where even if someone, say I have an assistant or a secretary or whatever it is, or some other coordinator, I know that it will be handled by them. And if they absolutely can't handle it, there's somebody else who can, or they'll send it to me and I'll handle it. But the work I need to do for that week that I'm with my wife and kids on vacation will be minimal at most. Will be almost non-existent, but very, very minimal. And that's not going to happen until you've really, really built the business to a point where you've trained people in that can really handle those tasks. Not like, oh, I don't know what to do, Rafi. I'm lost. That might happen on occasion. But they're at the point where they're getting paid well, they're happy working with you,
Of course.
and they can legitimately handle those difficult challenges where you don't have to take the brunt of it. So that's, to me, where you can confidently say, I've got this.
Yeah.
But that's why I still say being in a position like real estate is ideal, at least for me, and I know for you because you're doing it. But yes, of course, it means you don't have those hours off. But when you eventually build it to the point where you can, then it's blissful, man.
For sure. Yeah, well, after my trip, I came to the realization I need an assistant.
You don't have do you have a transaction coordinator for your deals?
We have a transaction coordinator like in our office, and they deal with like very minimal things. But no, I don't have it. I'm
So you do all the paperwork?
everything.
You do all your paperwork?
Everything.
So bro, you've been in for 6 years. I have a TC.
Everything.
I don't do that.
Everything.
But Jonathan, why?
I mean, look.
When
man,
I do paperwork, man, I have a guy.
But you have a transaction coordinator with your office.
No.
Or you pay someone.
No, he's not like my own TC.
Yeah.
Like he has other realtors that he works with.
Yeah.
But like when I have depending on the transaction, if I'm the buyer representing the buyer, then I'll give the listing agent his number and I'll say, if you need a document, he will send it to you. And this way, that's out of my way. Obviously, I review it. I take a look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm doing business. I have other clients I'm talking to.
Of course.
I don't have to worry. He's sitting on the DocuSigns. He's reviewing them. He's taking care of all that. You understand? And I see him. He sees me in the emails. He's going back and forth with the agent. I look at the email after an hour. I see that I look through the email. All of it's been covered. Sent the document. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's hours out of my.
Of course. And I do it all, man. I do it all. I do it all.
You know what's funny?
And I have
You're not the first realtor that's been in this
this
business much longer than me.
And look, I should.
Dude, it's a game
need
changer.
it. Oh, of course.
And my mentor taught this to me.
And I'm telling you, after my trip, I realized I needed it because I can't be at so many places at once, and I need a helping hand.
And I hate docs,
But
bro. Docs
what
are the
I
worst.
want is a little bit more than just like a TC. Like I want somebody who's like working for me full time.
You
like
can,
full
man.
time.
It sounds like to me that you're making enough of an income.
Well, yeah, I'm looking now. I am looking for somebody.
It's gonna make you more money
I'm
too, man.
actively looking for someone, but I want someone for the long haul. I don't want somebody who's wants to do it for a year and then go and be an agent.
Whoa.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I know of people of assistants who are truly they work and that's what they want to do.
They want to take the back seat. They don't like doing the realtor stuff.
There's people that are okay with that, and I want somebody who I could like my right hand. Like I know that they can help me with all this, and if I make money, they make money. Because
Well, you got to take care of them. Like if they're taken care of, if
course.
they're like financially compensated and you treat them well, yeah. I'm not preaching because I'm not there yet, but just from my logical brain,
of course,
it only makes sense. Like if you have somebody handling all of your documents, all of your calls, inputting the listings, doing all of that tedious work that you don't want to do, and that work isn't making you money. It's part of the transaction, but it's not making you money. It's not lead gen. And they're getting paid well, and you're good to them, and you even, you'll help them out if they need something. they're going to stay with you, man. And they're going to do a hell of a good job because they're like, John's the man. He's good to me. He's nice to me. He picked up my kids after school. He's got me something really nice for my birthday. He wished my wife and I a happy anniversary or whatever it is, or my husband and I. So like you said, we're adding value.
Yeah, no, it's true. So I mean, it's a long time coming for me to get an assistant. A very long time coming. I've been able to manage it as of today. I've been able to, but there's a lot of things I shouldn't be doing, and I know that. But I'm a very hands-on kind of person. Like I like to be hands-on.
I also do, bro.
But
it's hard, but
it's tough. It's tough, and I've learned to delegate lately a lot with the videos. I don't edit my videos anymore. I cannot. And I haven't been editing my videos for a while, but I used to edit them, man. And I used to edit them. But eventually you have to start delegating and just make time for the things that are important. And that's, in ours, is just making the connections, meeting people, getting out there, doing the showings, selling. That's what's appointments, listing presentations. That's what's important. And me being behind the desk doing the paperwork. It's not.
No, dude.
It's not.
And not only is it not important, it's not enjoyable. At least for me, I hate it. I hate docs, man.
Yeah.
I hate docs.
It's not fun. It's not.
Hate it, bro.
I know like the contracts like the palm of my hand. I've done them a million times.
Right.
Millions of times. Ins and out, in and out, in and out. And I've done it so many times. It's like clockwork. I do it quickly.
It's good to know them, but like, dude, you're still spending time on that. Like,
of course.
That's time you're never going to get back.
Of course. Like,
that shit scares me. Like, that's time you're never going to get back.
Time is valuable, man.
Yeah, dude.
Time is valuable. Yeah, I mean, that's my next step is for sure getting an assistant or transaction coordinator type of thing. Yeah, because I need that. I really need that. Somebody to kind of keep me organized. I can't be thinking about those things.
Yeah,
I can't.
Dude,
I can't.
It frees
and
up
it's
my
like
day.
something that's on clockwork. Like, hey, got a contract? You know what to do.
Yeah, dude.
Don't have
and
to
like,
tell you.
Dude, it's a big game changer. Like, I got it right away, truthfully, but I just know it's a game changer.
Like, for sure.
Because I know what I would be like without it. I would sit there. I would have a million questions to ask, and which doc do I need, and what do I do? I just.
Well, yeah, I think it works for you and your benefit too, because you're not familiar so much, right? Maybe at this point you are.
Well,
but
I'm much more familiar, but for me, it's like I wouldn't say I don't need. It's very important to be familiar with documents. It's important to know the documents, without a question. At the same time, I want to do what is actually important to bringing in business and profit, and it's a business. Like, I can't deny that I'm here at the end of the day to make a very nice income. That's otherwise I would just take a regular job and call it a day.
For sure.
So.
For sure. I'm gonna go get an assistant right now,
Bro.
Hey, if anyone wants to work with me, let me know.
Dude, you never know. Honestly,
you never know, right?
Straight up, if any of you listening to this feel they would be a good assistant, contact him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for someone who has experience. So I want somebody who's been doing it for a while. That's my main thing. It's just somebody, because I don't want to have to take the time to teach either. I really don't.
Nobody does.
I've already tried that. That's the thing, and it's time consuming, man. It's really time consuming.
Yeah, and you just
to teach somebody, and look, there's nothing wrong with. Obviously, I'm very understanding that you always have to start somewhere, but what my needs are right now is I just need somebody who comes in.
That knows what they're doing.
And knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they know the docs. They know what has to be done. They know the ins and outs. If something goes wrong, they know what's up.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly. But what's next for you, man?
What's next for me is, dude, there's so much. First, delegating is huge. I have to perfect my skills. I need to get better at listing presentations.
Okay.
I need to simply generate more leads. I recently got a dialer. I have Vulcan, so bro, it's a world of difference. I'm making calls, so going from manually making calls with my phone versus having a dialer, I can make calls in a quarter of the time. So my time is just cut immensely.
Really?
Like, I am so much more efficient. The CRM, everything's organized. It's totally different. It's just my business has been taken to the next level.
You call a lot of expireds, or what?
Yeah, expireds, FSBOs too, but the delegating part is huge. For me, it's just
Is it working?
What?
They calling him?
Definitely working.
Perfect.
I have to perfect my skills.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a buyer's agent in the long run. I want to primarily be a listing agent.
Of course.
That's what everyone wants to do. But so my mentor, my coach, I'm also in coaching. I pay $250 a month. Every Wednesday I'm in a group Zoom meeting, and this guy is, shout out to you, Aaron Novello, and he has a podcast himself. He was on my podcast. You should check it out.
No way.
He sells about 200 homes a year for the past 8 years. Been in the business for 25 years. He does investments with Grant Cardone.
Wow.
He's phenomenal realtor. He's killing it. And he's just a balls to the wall, like in your face guy. Like very, he's a nice guy, but he's a no bullshit, get shit done, don't make excuses. Here's what you need to do kind of guy. And it's exactly what I need from a mentor. I don't need it's okay, sweetheart. Like he's just all about like, stop bullshitting yourself. This is what needs to happen. So he's just about, it's speed in business is so important. As soon as you have that your business is moving, take the jump. It's a little scary to take on extra monthly costs. But when you take on those extra monthly costs, knowing that you need to do them, you're helping to catapult your business to the next level because it frees up time. So with the dialer, it costs money. Okay, it sucks. But I know it's going to do well for me. Having a transaction coordinator costs money, worth every penny. Having a coach, worth every penny. These are things you have to put in money to make money. So most people are like, but I don't know, the budget, I'm scared. I used to be that way. I grew up, he talks about this, Aaron, in our coaching sessions. When you come from a middle-class family, you're used to everything being DIY, do it yourself. So when you start to become an entrepreneur and you realize that wealthy people delegate, you need to delegate because you only have 24 hours a day. You spend 8 of them sleeping. If you sleep 8 hours, you spend other hours doing whatever else you're doing. You only have so many hours in a day to actually produce business. What are you doing during those hours? Are you doing the maximum to produce business? Are you really being efficient? So this is what he talks about. And he said, if there's a task that's not actually bringing you a profit, because that's what business is.
Yeah.
You are a business owner to make a profit. So if you are not doing the things that you need to do to maximize profit, you are wasting your time. I wouldn't say you're wasting your time, but you're taking a lot longer to get there than if you do those things. So my goal is just to be a student every single day.
For sure.
Show up every day and just speedily get to where I need to be as soon as I can. And things are going to happen. I'm going to get slapped in the face along the way. I'm going to get rejected along the way. But as long as I show up and I'm consistent, same way with the podcast, bro,
that's it.
That's it, man.
That's what it's about, man. It's just consistency and, delegation is huge. And it's something I'm realizing now because I have so much on me that, I not having an assistant. Like, I have an assistant, but they're still learning. So, but I need somebody who's like there, like knows it, clockwork. I need someone right hand every single day, not someone part time. So, yeah, man, delegation. I mean, that's my next thing too, is just delegating more and to be able to focus on the things that I want to do.
You'll see, bro. Hire a coordinator for all your paperwork. You're gonna come back to me like, bro, holy shit,
life changer.
Telling you,
I can't
man.
wait for that day. Yeah,
dude,
I have somebody
I don't know.
that I could be like, that could be at the office while I'm out. I mean, I'm out and about all day, man.
Right.
I just bought an iPad with the data, and that's literally changed my life.
I'm actually, by the way, it's funny you mention that because I know I have to do that too. Because this guy Aaron, he has an iPad, and he brings it to listing appointments.
I bring it everywhere.
No,
man.
but I'm saying like if I show up with printed papers with like 6 pages of a CMA versus an iPad, okay, you're automatically 10 times more professional.
You're getting the listing.
Because every other realtor, at least 99% of them that come through that door trying to get that listing and compete with you are not showing up with that iPad. But when you have an iPad and you can show them actual pictures of the properties, it's just right off the bat an iPad that costs a couple of $100. It shows them everything. You invested in an iPad to come here and do it. Yeah. And then clothing, dress. Yeah, there are realtors who don't wear suits, but like all of these things, dude, all of these little things. That's why I love real estate, because it's all psychology, perception. There's so many things.
Yeah.
But like once you tackle all those things over the course of time, I think it becomes easy. But all that other shit you had to do prior, like making sure your hair is groomed, making sure being in shape, wearing clothes that fit you, wearing clothes that are clean, smelling good, having good breath, speaking well, speaking confidently, eye contact, shaking hands firmly. All these things, saying whatever you say with conviction, standing behind what you say, keeping your word. These are like a million things. But if you, once you do all of them and it becomes second nature, it's easy. Yeah. But for people who, there are some people that are afraid to shake hands firmly, afraid to make eye contact. They don't know how to dress well. They are very out of shape. They're not confident. They, so they have a million hurdles to cover. I'm very grateful. I mean, I've worked my ass off to get here. Yeah. But like, I've already tackled like all those things I just mentioned. I'm good. Like, honestly, I am good with all of that shit. For me, it's a matter of time in the business, and a matter of learning what I need to learn. Because it's for just as a newer realtor, I just don't know what I don't know. For sure. So I just need to know these things. Of course. And then the sky's the limit.
Man. And you need that iPad.
Yes.
The iPad, dude. I take that thing with me everywhere that I go. I'm like, if I'm on the go, and if you have a transaction coordinator, you don't need to do this portion. But like, I'm on the go, man. Hey, you need an addendum? All right, right here, in the car. Or I'll be in the car. And like driving somewhere, and I got like the perfect setup. Like right here, I put it on my console, and it's like perfect. And somebody called me, hey, I want this. Oh, all right, I'll send it to you right now. Boom, done. I had New Yorkers come into town for like a day or two. We're out showing properties. They fell in love with one. I had them sign the contract right there on the spot. We sat down. I said, let's stop in here at the coffee shop real quick. I'll put together the offer, and we'll sign it now. Bam.
Yeah, you just put it into DocuSign. What they do? They log into their email?
Put it in DocuSign. Boom, boom, boom. No, right there. I use app files. A little different.
Wait, so how do you do it on DocuSign?
And I have the pen. $100 pen. $100. And I said, here's a pen, and you can sign. And dude, it's like,
you're saying like one of those like iPad pens?
No, the iPad pen. Yeah. And I told him too. I'm like, this is why I bought this. You're the first people to use this. This is why I paid for $100 for a pen. And they started laughing. Like, I'm glad you put it to good use. I'm like, no, you put it to good use. I don't use the pen. It's only for that one moment when they're signing the document.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, dude. I can talk, bro. I could talk for hours.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll do another one in the near future.
For sure. I'm down.
Yeah. So, John, thank you so much for coming
on. I might start a podcast now.
Go for it, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, John. You gave me a lot of value, bro. Thank you. Really,
no problem.
Added a lot of value to my business. Guys, make sure to follow his page. It's Jonathan Vega, right?
At Jonathan M Vega.
At Jonathan M Vega. Yeah. Check out his page, whether you're a realtor or not, and whether you want to choose him or I for business is totally fine. Honestly, it really is. And
if you want to like cringe whenever you're on Instagram or like YouTube or anything, if you really want cringe-worthy content, that's where you can.
It's great content.
Tune
honestly.
into my content. This guy got me here at 7:30. At what is it now? It's 9:30. Holy cow! No wonder I'm ready to go to sleep now. I'm like,
it's 9:30 already.
Dead.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, it's 9:30.
All right.
This guy had me here at 7:30 at night. I drove from Coral Gables. So we did it all for you, for the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this guy's channel. Subscribe to his podcast. It is so soothing that it's semantical.
Damn straight.
Do what the goat does and just subscribe.
That's it, man. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, new episodes every Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Stay tuned.